So we got this push, we got this bailout of like trillions and trillions of dollars. And I know that that number trillion is so abstract. It doesn't even make sense. I heard one story where they said we don't even have enough paper to print all the dollars it's going to cost. And I know people on the right are all of a sudden, surprised about fiscal economy, fiscal conservatism. All of a sudden, they were quiet for the last 4 or 5 years. And then people on the left are all concerned about the weather, the world on fire. And I'm here to tell you that they're just playing to their interest. None of those really matter. What I do see as an interesting trend here, and that's what the purpose of this video is about, is why do we glorify free kindergarten and free pre-K? Why do we glorify two parents working? That is not a good thing. That is not a good thing at all. And if we're going to spend trillions of dollars, why don't we buy people homes? Why don't we, these individuals who work jobs that require them to go into danger, why don't we get them education to where they can, enhance their careers? And I understand this is all theoretical, but something concrete would be, instead of paying for pre-K, pay off that person's home. It might be cheaper in the long run. That way the parent can stay at home and raise the kids. It is not good for strangers in a daycare. And they are strangers because the daycare is. Have you been to a daycare? Daycares are filled with children, so your child is not getting intimate attention. So it's just ran in there with the fray, and it's kind of survival of the fittest. And there might be a lesson that is taught, and there might be a kid that obtains some knowledge from whatever lessons taught in pre-K. But if and that's good for them, great. They're probably the exception. The vast majority of kids just kind of flounder, and they're not learning anything, and they're not getting love and attention from their parents. It is more important for parents to raise their children. And my proposal is, all those individuals who have to go work two jobs, it would be more beneficial for us to pay off their debt, buy them a home to where they don't have that extra payment. And I'm not proposing socialism. I'm saying if we have to swallow this pill of unfortunate circumstances, it would benefit people in the long run for them to have free housing versus free pre-K. Also, the housing allows them, if we paid for free housing, it would allow individuals to gain wealth and accumulate wealth and perhaps get out of the perpetual cycle of poverty. Think about it this way. If we had bought somebody a house, and I'm not talking about a rich monster home, I'm talking about a square box utilitarian home, what they did during post World War II. I think they did it in Greenwich, Connecticut. They had these little utilitarian box homes. You can actually still see them too. They're little 800,000 square foot, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom homes. And these are the homes that, a lot of World War II vets came home to. Basically these neighborhoods, because they're square utilitarian homes. They're very easy to manufacture, very cheap cost, and you can still build them with high quality. And my argument is, we have some program, whether it's federal, whether it's state, I don't know, whether it is a combination of that with private industry, giving individuals free housing to own perpetually, not you're renting this, the government owns it, taxpayer, no, you own it. That will allow them to accumulate wealth. And like I said, if we had done this 20 years ago, think about what those properties that we gave to individuals who were poor would it be worth today. That's one way to break the cycle. And that's actually why I think the Democrats, the Republicans, looking at them in the aggregate, not the individual congressman, not the individual senator, but looking at them in the aggregate, it almost feels like they want poverty, because it's an issue that unites the base of their voters. They don't want to solve it. If your solution for helping somebody is giving them something that comes from the taxes, then the government now is your master. My proposal is giving individuals something that grows, giving them the golden goose so that they can have the fruits of the labor. They can have the eggs from the goose. They can have the golden eggs from the goose. And what I mean by that is the compound interest. The property value grows. And that's another thing too, and I think I talked about this. We got so much freaking foreign investment coming in. You know, we sell our oil abroad to others. We are energy self-sufficient. We actually sell energy to ourselves. Why don't we use the revenue generated from the energy here to invest in the lower income folks of this country, and not give it to them, invest and give them the dividends? And I've repeated this in I think I call it dividend UBI, but that is a way, and this isn't me just making things up. I'm not that smart, but I'm saying, why don't we conceptually think of a perpetual way to attack poverty, not just some giveaway, which giving somebody, and that's another thing, right? Like if we just create a government program that gives free things away, we just ensure that those politicians stay in power. But if we create programs that perpetually generate wealth for those on the bottom, then we continue to decentralize government, make it less powerful, and the best politicians can rise up. Not, for example, if you're receiving welfare from a left-wing party in your local state, you're going to be afraid to vote for a right-wing person, even though you may agree with his ideas, because that right-wing person, there's a threat to your welfare check. And that's how you stay in. That's how the poverty cycle continues. So I think it was Miss Pat said it best. She said, welfare is kind of like diabetes. It's inherited. So generation after generation after generation, and this is how it's happening, because these politicians say they're helping you, but it's allowing them to stay in power because you're reliant on their check. They are your master. So I don't understand the obsession from the voters. I don't understand the obsession with two parents going to work and universal pre-K. I think that's a disaster. I think it's a disaster not from a fiscal sense, but from a sense of the parents should raise their kids, not some stranger. And I also think it's a disaster because it throws power up to whichever political candidate pays for it. I want individuals to gain wealth. I want individuals to have perpetual wealth, which is why I'm making these videos, and which is why I'm trying to show you tips and things that I've done to get out of poverty, because ultimately at the end of the day, regardless of where you live and what politicians in power, you can only control yourself. This was a rant. I don't know what sparked it, but I hope that there are some things here that helped, and I will talk to you later.